Okay, so the Super Bowl halftime show. It's really not just about the 12 minutes of music anymore, is it? It feels like so much more.
Oh, absolutely. It's this global platform, a huge business play, and honestly, it often turns into this political flashpoint almost instantly.
Exactly. And when the headliner for Super Bowl LX dropped, well, that gave us a perfect case study.
It really did. The sources we've looked at, they don't just give us the who, but, the whole strategy behind it. We're talking NFL, Roc Nation, Apple Music,
And the public reaction, which
uh,
was intense.
to say the least. Yeah, really polarized right from the get-go.
So that's our mission for this deep dive.
Yeah.
Unpack that announcement, look at the why, and then, yeah, the fallout.
Let's do it.
Okay, first things first, the core fact. We now know the headliner for the Apple Music Super Bowl LX halftime show.
And it is the global Puerto Rican star Bad Bunny, Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio.
A massive name,
Oh.
a really huge get.
Truly is. And to really get the scale of this, we should probably lay out the basic details first.
Good idea. Let's start there. Section 1, the milestone announcement itself.
Right.
So we're talking Super Bowl LX, scheduled for February 8th, 2026.
And the location is Levi Stadium out in Santa Clara, California.
Okay, standard details.
Yeah.
But the artist's choice, that's what history comes in, right?
That's the big story here. When you look back at all the halftime shows, decades of them, this is a major moment. The sources are really clear on this point.
What's the specific milestone they highlight?
Bad Bunny is the first ever solo Latino artist to lead the show, all by himself.
Okay. The solo part is crucial.
Exactly, because we've seen Latino artists involved before, right? Like J-Lo and Shakira together, which was huge.
Right, collaborations or as part of a group.
But this is different. It's one person, a Latino artist, holding that entire massive stage alone. It definitely sets a new benchmark.
A cultural precedent, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess leads us right into the strategy behind it.
Precisely, which is our section 2, the strategic context. Because a decision this big, with these kinds of viewing numbers, it's never just about the music, is it?
No way. It's deeply calculated.
Huh.
Business strategy wrapped in culture.
Mm-hmm.
So who's actually making the call here? The sources identifies the key players.
Yeah, it's the partnership, Roc Nation, the NFL itself, and the sponsor, Apple Music. They're the ones driving this.
Okay. And what are they trying to achieve? What's the calculation?
Well, the reporting points to 2 main goals, sort of running in parallel.
Go with the first one.
The first is, let's call it the public-facing goal. Promoting diversity, representation, visibility. That's important PR for a huge league like the NFL. It's the cultural message.
Makes sense. And the second goal?
That's where the business strategy really comes into focus. It's about helping the NFL expand into Latin markets significantly.
Right. So diversity and market growth.
Yeah.
But how does Bad Bunny specifically tie into that second goal, the expansion?
Well, it's not just about having a Latino artist. It's about which Latino artist, right.
Okay.
Bad Bunny is, right now, arguably at the very peak of global streaming. He absolutely dominates youth culture globally.
So the NFL isn't just thinking about, say, existing Latino fans in the U.S.
No, they're looking bigger. They're targeting that huge U.S. Latino demographic, yes, but specifically younger generations, millennials, Gen Z, and crucially, they're looking at Mexico, South America, rapidly growing markets for them.
Gotcha. So his specific sound, that mix of reggaeton, Latin trap, top, that's the key to unlocking that younger, global, digitally savvy audience.
That's the idea. His streaming numbers are just staggering. We're talking top 5 globally, consistently, on platforms like Spotify, Apple Music.
Which means?
Which means partnering with him gives the NFL instant access, instant relevance in those target markets. They don't need some long, drawn-out marketing push in each country.
He is the marketing push.
Essentially, yeah. This performance, putting him front and center, that is the campaign to reach those audiences.
And for Apple Music, what's their angle?
It's a power move for them, too, right? Elevating him solo says, look, the music dominating our platform, the streaming world, that's the music defining global culture now. It connects their brand directly to that cultural peak.
Okay, so putting him solo isn't just symbolic, it's maximizing the strategic impact.
Exactly. A group performance diffuses the message. Solo Bad Bunny sends a very clear signal to those specific demographics they want to capture. It's a major investment in building that global market share.
So the calculation seems pretty clear on their end. The potential reward of tapping into this huge market must seem worth any potential.
Well,
blowback.
And we saw that blowback almost immediately, which takes us straight into Section 3, the spectrum of public reaction.
Right, because the moment that strategic move hit the public, boom, things fractured.
Instantly. Yeah.
So let's start with the positive side. Initially, there was celebration, right, for it being a cultural first.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The sources picked up on that right away. Lots of positive buzz.
Like who? Any specific examples?
Well, you had other major artists weighing in. Bruno Mars, for example, he's done the halftime show. He knows the pressure. He was publicly supportive.
Okay. Artist to artist respect.
And it wasn't just celebs. Political figures, too, like California Governor Gavin Newsom. He put out congratulations, framing it as a win for cultural inclusion.
So for a moment there, it felt like a unifying cultural milestone.
For a moment, yeah. But that didn't last long once certain media outlets started framing it differently.
Through a political lens.
Through a very specific domestic political lens, yes. And this is where, we need to be careful just to report what the sources say without taking sides.
Absolutely. Impartial reporting. So where did the criticism come from?
It mainly came from some conservative commentators and related media platforms.
And their issue wasn't the music or the choice from a cultural standpoint.
No, the criticism cited was purely political. It zeroed in on Bad Bunny's past activism. Specifically, his known opposition to Donald Trump, and also his stance against certain policies of ICE immigration and customs enforcement.
Okay. So the argument was that his political views made him unsuitable.
Kind of. The critics basically framed it as, here's someone opposed to federal policies, maybe even a former president. How can he be on this huge national stage, especially one tied to, America's biggest sport?
That really highlights the tension, doesn't it? The NFL's global business strategy colliding head-on with very specific, very heated U.S. domestic politics.
It's unavoidable. Immigration is such a flashpoint issue. So choosing an artist who's been vocal on that, well, the NFL must have known it would trigger this. It was a calculated risk.
So did the conversation stop there? Or was there a pushback against the criticism?
Oh, there was definitely a defense mounted. The sources cover that too, showing the full picture. People jumped in pretty quickly to counter the political attacks.
What were their main arguments? How did they defend the choice?
They focused on a couple of key things, trying to shift the focus back from politics to culture and identity.
Okay.
First, they really hammered the point that Bad Bunny is a U.S. citizen. He's from Puerto Rico.
Ah, that's tactically important.
Very. It directly counters any narrative trying to paint him as foreign or somehow anti-American. It reframes him as an American voice, albeit one from a territory with a complex relationship with the mainland.
So less about external politics, more about internal American diversity and identity.
Exactly. And the second main point was just his sheer global cultural weight. The argument was essentially that his status as a music icon, a symbol for youth worldwide, kind of transcends these specific political squabbles.
The idea being that the performance celebrates artistry, not necessarily every political stance the artist has ever taken.
Precisely. That it's about his cultural contribution on a global scale.
It's just such a clear example, isn't it? How any big cultural event now, even one driven by commercial goals like market expansion, gets sucked into existing political divides.
Instantly. The business goal reached Latin markets hits the wall of domestic political reality. The NFL is trying to execute this global strategy while navigating a minefield at home.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up then. In our outro, let's synthesize. What does this whole episode, the announcement, the strategy, the reaction, really tell us?
I think the big takeaway is how interconnected everything is now. Global music, big corporate marketing, and intense political debate, especially in the U.S. They're all tangled together.
And maybe that for huge entities like the NFL, diversity isn't just a feel-good PR thing anymore.
Right. It's become a core part of their growth strategy. Expanding globally means embracing diverse artists and audiences. It's a business necessity.
But that necessity comes with friction. So for you listening, the value here isn't just knowing Bad Bunny's playing the Super Bowl.
No, it's understanding why that choice was made, the business drivers, and then seeing the immediate political reaction it provoked. Our sources gave us that full picture.
We saw the celebration, but then almost immediately the political pushback, forcing this defense centered on citizenship and cultural significance.
Yeah, it's a really complex snapshot of media, culture, and business today.
So maybe the final thought we can leave everyone with, building on that tension. How does an institution like the NFL make that trade-off?
You mean between the market gain and the political heat?
Exactly. They chose an artist with a known political history. Did they just accept that some political criticism, maybe alienating some older or more conservative fans, was just the cost of doing business, the necessary price for unlocking that much larger long-term global market?
How much controversy are they willing to absorb to achieve those massive expansion goals? That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it?
Something to definitely think about as we see these huge cultural moments unfold.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.